This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Everybody loves a hero. People line up for them, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer. I believe there's a hero in all of us that keeps us honest, gives us strength, makes us noble, and finally allows us to die with pride. Even though sometimes we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most. Even our dreams.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. No, you're gonna hear about it. Yeah! And a happy Friday to each and every one of you. This is the day when I hate on Roland. This is the day. We do it every Friday. Every Friday we do it. He and I we hate on each other immediately. First thing he says to me, he goes, ha, ha, ha. Hey, man, happy Friday. And I'm like, go to hell. He loves Friday. I hate Friday. And he always comes at me with it, and I always come at him with the whole Friday bit. And he's like, yeah, got the weekend coming. And I'm like, your weekend. He loves the work day. He'll tell you that every day, all day, that he will work all day. He will work from sun up to sundown on a work week. But when the weekend comes, he's got to bowl and or gamble. But he's got to do his thing.
Yeah. The weekend is for activities, family, and fun.
I know. I get it all the time from my wife, too. She wants me
You're just a workaholic, man.
I am. I'm not a workaholic. I enjoy what I do. So when I'm not doing it, I feel like I'm missing something. Right? I feel like it's like I don't have a fear of missing out. Like a lot of people have that. But if I'm not working, I feel like I'm lazy. Right? I feel like thank God I own my own business and it's open 7 days a week. And I'm there 7 days a week. But I don't believe in vacations. I don't believe even look, our esteemed, who I love, Janine says to me the other day, where's my oh, there it is. My round of applause. Janine said to me just yesterday, she said, Reese, if you need a day off, take a day off. And I went, no, I don't need a day off. I got the weekend.
I told her that. She told me, I was like, that dude's not taking no days.
I'm just not doing it. And it was funny because I got to tell the story now before I get into my monologue because this is going to show you how horrible I am as a person. And my wife, who's going to be mad at me that I'm telling this story, but I have to tell it, right? Because I kind of, wear my life on my sleeve. So this is what happened, Roller. So what was the deal? You remember that the week of the 22nd, I wanted to go to D.C. And the reason why, I wanted to go to the D.C. area. And the reason why was because 5 years ago, on the 22nd, was the day that I realized I was in love with Roseanne. We had seen each other casually before then, a couple of months before then. But there was an event that she and I participated on the 22nd of September of 2019. And it was the first time we knew we were going to see each other there. I had a work opportunity. I was trying to get her to open up a cleaning business in conjunction with my moving company. And she and I had been talking about it. She had just left the job and she was looking for a new career. And I said, look, start your own and I'll tell you exactly how to do it. But I said, let's talk at the picnic. And we were planning on meeting at this picnic. And we got there. So when she shows up at the picnic, I'm just wearing casual stuff. I'm dressed like a guy. But she is wearing this long, flowing red summer dress with this big, giant, like, bonnet / hat. It was like this wide brim hat. And it was, it was just perfect. It was just like, something like you might wear at the Kentucky Derby, but not too flashy. It didn't have a whole bunch of bows on it. It was just one hat. And it was wide, and her hair was just flowing off the back. And when she was in the picnic and I was behind some canopy or whatever it was. And I looked at her and she was at least a good 50 yards away from me. And everything was in slow motion. The wind caught the summer dress and it flowed to my right, her left. And it just showed the silhouette of her. And she started walking towards me and everything. I mean, I'm telling you, I looked at her and I just went, oh my God. It was the moment that I fell in love with her. And it was September 22nd, 2019. Well, it turns out that picnic that we were going to, that annual picnic, again lands this year on the 22nd, the exact day. So she wanted to go. And we were going to go out to D.C. to go to the thing. And I said, look, what I was trying to do was get to one of our sister stations in D.C. and see if I could do the show remotely from there. And we got in touch with somebody who is in the office, and I left a message with the brand manager. They never got back to me. And so when Janine was saying to me yesterday, she was like, look, if you ever need a day off, you can take a day off. And so I say to Janine, I said, don't worry about it. It was nothing. She was like, well, what were you trying to do? I was like, well, I was going to D.C. because it was kind of the anniversary of the day I fell in love with my wife. And when I said it out of my mouth, I was expecting Janine to go, what are you, crazy? What do you mean you're not going? But she didn't. I didn't finish. I didn't give her a chance to. But I know everyone is saying to themselves, dude, you actually won't take a day off to go commemorate the day that you fell in love with your wife? Okay, let me be 100% real with you. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's nothing. I will continue to love my wife regardless of the picnic. Why? Because my wife loves one thing more than me, handbags. Let's give her a round of applause. My wife.
Way. No way. I'm not believing any of that.
What?
And another thing.
Yes.
Just if you didn't know.
Yes.
You were in love with her before that day.
I
know you say you say
that was the day I realized that I was in love with her. You think it was before then?
Absolutely.
No, I don't think
just
so.
That moment happened and let you know, but your body already knew that.
I guess
you
maybe.
were in love with her.
Well, I did tell her that the day that we spoke, when we had arranged to meet there, she was in a really, really bad place, and I felt awful. And I said to her, even after we sort of started dating, I said, the one thing that always bothered me about that day when we were talking about meeting at the picnic was that you had this horrible look on your face. It was just like someone had really, really let you down. And in my heart, I said, who would do that to this woman? And I said, if I were with this woman, I would never allow her face to look like that, ever. And I promised her for the rest of my life that I would never let her, not once. And you might be right. I think that day I may have been already sort of on the pathway of being in love with her, but I'll never forget that moment. She showed me the dress that she wore, and I didn't even recognize it because what I saw was something was like glowing. The day I never forget, she pulled the dress and she goes, "This is the dress that you always talk about." And I went, "That's the dress? It looks so homely." It didn't look like the thing that I saw, but she looked amazing that day. And that was the moment that I realized that I was in love with her. And the rest is history, of course. But she's sending me hearts right now.
Oh,
yeah. And she said, about me never allowing her face to ever look like that. And she says, and you never have. So I will say in 3 years, I got a pretty good track record. And I've made her so happy. This is another story. I can tell you right off the rip. Interestingly enough, she, I told Roseanne that I was going to marry her, but I told her I wanted her wedding to be perfect. I wanted her wedding to be like over the top. I wanted it in a church. I wanted, doves and all this other stuff. I wanted to make it huge. I wanted like 100 people there. And she knew it was probably going to take about 2 years before we could actually do it. But I wanted something in the range of like $25,000, $30,000 for our wedding. And she looked at me and she says one day, I don't want to wait that long. And I went, what? And she goes, I don't want to wait that long. I am sick and tired of not being your wife. And she put our wedding together in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And she put it together in 2 weeks. She got her dress. I got my suit. And we got married in a park that was right, literally down the road from our house. But here's another part that makes, I think, my marriage to her even more interesting, and the support that we had from so many of our friends. What was crazy was the parks department in the park that we wanted to go to, we knew a guy who worked for the parks department. So we tried to call him, and he said, I don't have any really say so on that park, but here, take this number. So I took the number and I called the guy and I said, hey, listen, we'd love to have the wedding there. Tell us what we have to do. Do we have to sign a permit, whatever the case was? He says, yes, but you need 6 months. And I went, oh, 6 months. I'm like, he goes, what are you doing? I said, well, we're just going there with our friends and we're going to exchange vows and that's it. We're going to leave. And he looks at me and he goes, there are going to be parking in any, certain spots. And I go, no. I said, only to probably let my wife off so she can walk sort of down the aisle. And he looks at me, he says, swear to God, he goes, how long is this going to take? I went, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. He goes, congratulations on your wedding. I said, I'm sorry? And he goes, congratulations on your wedding. I said, so do I need to get your permission? He goes, I don't know how many ways I'm going to say this guy, but congratulations on your wedding.
What you waiting for?
All I wanted to do was to get an approval. He was like, in essence, he was telling me, okay, I don't want to know about it. Just get it done. You're good. And sure enough, a Parks Department ranger actually stood down the block and pretty much kept the lookout for us and let us get married. And that was the way it was. It was a guy I didn't even know. It was amazing that we pulled it off. But yeah, we pulled it off.
That's good energy, synergy, everything.
Yeah, it was, like I said, that day it was meant to be. I watched that woman cry. I still couldn't believe that I'll tell you, I'm the luckiest schlub in the world, the fact that she chose me. So I'm married up. I mean, I'm married way up.
Yeah, she's pretty, and you just
I'm a schlub.
You're just regular, man. Unfortunately.
You're just a regular old dude. I know. But see, unfortunately, that's the other part of this thing about not taking the day off. For me, she was the first woman who ever allowed me to sleep past 7 a.m. And I've never been that guy. I'm very antsy. I move around a lot. If you catch me at the DMV and they go, you hear the numbers go up, they go B47. I go, bingo. I do it every time. I can't sit still. So the first time we ever lay in a bed together, I looked at the clock and it was 10 o'clock. And I went, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. She goes, relax. Do you have anything to do? I'm like, no. She goes, just lie down. Just sleep. And I'm like, I can't. I just can't do it. And she was the first person to allow me to sleep and not feel bad about lying down. I didn't feel like a bum for the first time in my life, sleeping after 10 o'clock. I talked to my ex-wife afterwards, and I said to her, I said, do you know I slept till 11 o'clock today? She goes, you? Were you sick? She goes, were you under the weather? I went, no. She goes, oh, wow, that's not like you. So I'm just find peace. I know I do find peace, but I'm not a sleeper. I just can't be. I got to work. It's always been my identity. Guys, you know this. There's guys out there who know this are from my generation. They're a little older than you, Roland. But guys from my generation, they know that when you are, how do I say this? You are identified by your employ. Guys, it was just the way that we lived. Now, many people have tried to poo-poo it and almost denigrate that idea or the identifier that men use for themselves. But guys who know, if you go to certain places and you meet, like, let's say you show up at a party that your wife has dragged you to and their husbands are there. Oh, come on, you'll meet a few guys. Maybe you'll make a new friend. Ugh. I don't make friends. You'll meet a new friend, your wife will tell you. Then you get there and you go and you hang out and you meet a couple of guys. And what's the one thing? Guys who know, they know. They go, so, Bob, what do you do? That's what they say. That's what every guy does. That's how I grew up. Hey, Reese, what do you do? Hey, Reese, I hear you do this. It's just the way it is because guys are, and it's not that men don't exist. It's just they exist more in what they do. Oh, yeah, I work for the cable company. And nobody felt bad about that. Oh, yeah, I'm a roofer, I'm a construction worker. Yeah, I work in demolition. Guys were prideful. It didn't matter what they did. Yeah, I'm in sanitation. Back in the days, they said garbage, but now you say sanitation because you want to make it sound professional.
Custodians are living good now.
Damn right.
Making 70, 80,000, some of them.
So it's just the way that, it's just the way that I grew up. So I just became this guy who's identified by work. So, working is, idle hands at the devil's playground. And if I see people, sitting around doing nothing, like I can't stand these kids who are sitting around playing video games. I can't watch. I've seen grown men sitting around playing video games, and I'm going, you could be doing so much more with your time. And guys will look at me and say, you never relax? I'm like, relax when I'm dead. I get all the sleep I can. But I'm a work guy. And I know, listen, don't get me wrong. Roland, you've got stuff going on the weekend. I just don't. I don't bowl. That's not my thing. On the weekend, you know what I got? Let me tell you what I got, friend. Let me tell you what I got on the weekend.
Uh-oh.
I've got long walks through architecture and gardens. My wife wants to go to the botanical gardens. I have no idea. By the way, I almost went to a botanical garden with her. You know what she said to me? There are no butterflies. I thought there were butterflies at these things. There are no butterflies. Why go? Because at least something's moving. Other than that, I'm just looking at plants. I could do that. I could walk down the street and look at plants. My wife always wants to go. Yesterday, we went on a walk to the grotto. You know what it was? Dirt and rocks. That's all it was. And I hated every minute of it. That's what my weekends are.
You have a way of taking the beauty out of things.
Hey, because you know what's beautiful? Work.
No, it's not. I'm going to tell you everything you just said. And you know what I'm going to say to that?
Yes.
Reese, I slept for 10 hours last night.
Oh, God forbid.
And I woke up still tired.
Oh, you slept for that's not sleeping. That's passing out. You slept for 10 hours? Do you know how many hours I sleep?
Probably 4.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
If I sleep for 5 and I get up and I'm just like, no. And like right now, I'm like, I can't even sit in this chair. Do you know I actually thought about doing this standing up? Because I hate sitting down. Because I feel like, again, idle hands at the devil's playground. Just the way that I think. I wasn't even planning this. I had a whole monologue scheduled. I don't know why. I just went down this rabbit hole. It just shows it. Again, it's the airing of grievances Friday. And so
that's what it is.
It is. It's the airing of grievance Friday.
And you got 10 seconds.
It's okay. When we come back, I'll finally do my opening monologue. But of course, it's an airing of grievances Friday on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Looking for better heating savings and service for your home?
Off to a good start, huh?
$125 free heating oil or propane. Want to save more on heating costs? Go with Petro to get a new heating system with $0 down and low monthly payments. For expert HVAC tune-ups, repairs, and live 24/7 service, go with your local HVAC pros to stay warm and save all winter. Go to Petro.
All right, the rest of the show is yours. That was way too long for me to be on air.
888-PETRO02.
I said the rest of the show is yours. That was way too long for me to be on air.
Sports correspondent.
Okay.
I have a new podcast called The Varsity, where I will take you inside the executive suites and owners' boxes that run the entire sports business. Twice a week, I will bring on the smartest people I know to break down the hottest topics in sports media and give you a window into the inside conversations that are happening throughout sports media. So be sure to follow and listen to The Varsity Podcast, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
September 26th at 7 p.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 is sponsored by Amplify.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
And now, a WTIC news update.
72 degrees at 3:30. I'm John Silva. Schedules for school students continue to be upended by threats. Bristol, Bridgeport, and Torrington schools targets of perceived social media threats today. And in Meriden, police say 2 juveniles were behind threats made toward schools in that city. 70-year-old woman facing charges. She set fire to an apartment building in Bloomfield early this morning. Firefighters were met with heavy flames when they arrived at the building on Dorothy Drive. Maria Salas faces an arson charge. An 89-year-old woman was treated for smoke inhalation. State police say a Litchfield man is under arrest on child abuse charges. Troopers say Matthew Basin, he's 33, was caught on surveillance slapping the 5-month-old, swinging the infant, and pushing the child's feet toward their head. The complainant told police she suspected the child was being abused and upon leaving work took custody of the baby until officers arrived. The suspect faces a number of charges, including risk of injury. State Inspector General taking over the investigation into that police shooting death of a 36-year-old man in New Haven on Route 1 Thursday. It was during an investigation that police had undertaken. The incident occurred again yesterday. Video is expected to be released in the coming days. Israel says it has carried out an airstrike that killed a senior Hezbollah military official in a densely populated area, southern neighborhood of the Lebanese capital. WTIC News Time is 3:31. From the WTIC at 24-hour traffic network, still looking at a couple of issues out here as we get going for the evening or afternoon drive. We've got delays in the Farmington area, westbound 84 congestion from 37 to 32. That because tractor-trailer issue in the right lane there. In Hartford, still working a tractor-trailer crash on 91 South between 33 and 32. That's also in the right lane. New incidents popped up in Middletown, 91 North, congestion between exits 18 and 21. That's due to a vehicle fire in the mix there. That should be off on the shoulder, but it's going to be pretty tight getting by. Jason Caterina in the Weather Center says cloudy skies today. We'll keep it in the 70s, partly cloudy, 60 tonight. Mix of clouds and sun Saturday, highs in the upper 60s. Fall arrives Sunday morning, and with it, we'll have mix of clouds and sun and a high in the low 70s. 72 right now in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Enjoy connections to over 20 cities across Europe when you fly non-stop to Dublin from Hartford with Aer Lingus. Great fares from Bradley International Airport, now available on airlingus.com.
With vacations over and busy schedules back, don't forget your dental care. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester is open 7 days a week with late hours to fit your busy routine. Call 860-730-6030 or visit columbiaimplantcenter.com.
Honey, did you turn the thermostat down again? It's freezing in here. I can see my breath.
Jeez, why is it always my fault? I didn't touch it.
I knew you should have gotten the heating system checked out. We always forget. You better call the B.
Call the B for your $89 preseason system check to ensure you'll be cuddled up on the couch all winter long.
Really, honey? We don't even Netflix and chill anymore.
Don't call the B now. Call them right now. Just call the B. CallTheB.com. That's callTheletterB.com. Call the B today.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my family's from Bristol. I contacted Allaire Elder Law after realizing I could not complete the Connecticut Title XIX Medicaid application on my own. I completely underestimated the amount of work and knowledge needed to not make any costly mistakes. A family I know tried to save money by doing the Title XIX work on their own. They made an honest mistake on the paperwork submitted to the state. and it cost them more than $50,000. Alair Elder Law met my number one goal when I decided to work with them, to make sure my parents and their assets were protected legally so they can enjoy the rest of their time together and not worry about becoming one of the Title 19 horror stories. And our family cannot thank them enough.
Find out more at alairelderlaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Paid for by RFA cancellation. Are you feeling trapped by a timeshare you no longer want? You're not alone. Thousands of people are stuck paying for timeshares they hardly use. But here's the good news. There's a way out, and we're here to help. We specialize in legally canceling timeshares. With years of experience and a dedicated team, we've successfully helped countless clients just like you break free from those burdensome contracts. No more annual fees, no more maintenance costs, just freedom from your unwanted timeshare. Imagine what you could do with all that extra money and peace of mind, whether it's traveling to places you really want to go, saving for a new home, or just enjoying life without that financial burden hanging over your head. We make it possible, and it's easier than you think. Call us today at 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Our friendly experts will guide you through the process step by step, ensuring a smooth and stress-free experience. So call us now at 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061 and take the first step toward freedom. Again, 800-866-7061. 800-866-7061.
Whether you own a or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguisher lights.
Hey, Dre, hold on for a second. Don't go nowhere.
Running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're gonna hear about it.
It's the airing of grievances this Friday on News Talk 1080 WTIC. I am your host, Reese On The Radio. This September 20th, 2024. We'll get into the phones in a second. But I want to give a shout out to Dre Hines, a friend, good friend. He used to be one of those 80s pop stars. If you know him, you know him. If you didn't know him, but he's got a new single out called Autumn Whisper. I haven't heard it yet, but I know it's out there. And I'm trying to pronounce his group, his new group's name. I can't pronounce it. So, Dre, you're going to have to give me an explanation on how to pronounce this name. If I don't know if it's Arabic, Swahili. I can't. I've only been black for 35, 45 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it's something in black code. I'm kidding. Dre, just tell me how do I pronounce the new group? Because I know you guys are coming out with a new album. And I haven't heard Autumn Whisper yet. But if you're interested, I'll give you the name of it and you can check it out. And then you can tell me what you think of it. But Dre Hines, thank you for checking out the show, brother. I know we haven't talked in a while. We'll also get to the phones in a second. I had an opening monologue. I do want to get to it, but I'm going to take these 2 phone calls first, one of which I haven't heard from in a long time, and 2, it's your favorite person. Let's go to George in St. Louis. How are we doing, George?
Hi, Reese. Before we all end up glowing in the dark and microwaving, before we end up microwaving our food without a microwave,
No doubt.
and all buried in lead coffins, I recommend we fire Biden and fire Blinken and fire Harris.
Did you see that debacle?
I suggest for the Ukraine-Russian war, we bring in Trump. We bring remote conferencing in and settle this before we all get blown up.
Yeah, the fact that Jill Biden was running the cabinet meeting today and everyone thought that was so cute shows exactly the level of depravity.
Yeah, 11 months.
Yeah, 11 months.
11 months competency. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to get us all killed.
Yeah.
I don't know any other way to put this.
Hey, that's why I
We got
played that
14
hero bit in the beginning. Is that, heroes make us wait for, we have to hold on for 1 extra minute until somebody can come and save the day. It inspires us to do that. We just got to hold on. It's just a couple of months. I know people think that it's, some calamity is going to happen in the next couple of days. I don't think we're that far. I don't think we're that close, I should say. I don't think we're that close to getting to that level. But yes,
Well,
we're
I
getting
think we
perilously close.
I think we are. I think we're a lot closer because the Russians have lost 300,000 troops, 2,400 tanks, and this is a lot more critical than the Cuban Missile Crisis because of the losses. I think we're very close. We ought to bring in our top-notch guy. We ought to bring in Trump.
I don't.
And as I said,
I want people to
video
understand,
conference.
but I want people to understand this about Putin, George. I know that people think that Putin is not the mullahs. He is not the Ayatollah Khomeini. What I mean by that is that the Ayatollah is of an ideology that death is the beginning. I don't think that Putin sees the world that way. I believe he sees the world where he is the president of a people, and a nuclear war to vanquish his enemies is just as bad for his people, right? And I think that
You're talking about mad. You're talking about mad.
Yeah, I don't think he's that. I don't think he's a mad dictator. I think he's obviously a dictator, but I don't think he is psychologically damaged. I believe that he wants to win the war. I just don't believe that he is talking about a nuclear one.
Well, I believe that if Putin is cornered, and he's very close to being cornered, he's gonna react illogically.
Weirdly enough, I think he's waiting. I think he is waiting for this election, as many countries are. China does it. Russia does it. Iran, I know, does it. Saudi Arabia does it. Weirdly enough, every country, as much as they try to play that they're independent of American politics, they are waiting for America. They know that America is the decider of world events. They just do. Now, people hate the fact that we're that kind of superpower, but we are. Regardless of who it is that's in office, we just have that kind of might across the globe. We just do. And I know they're waiting. No one wants to make that move. Like the reason why we had the balloon, the reason why we had, the Taiwan scare, the reason why we've had this war in the first place, they did it at a time where there was no election taking place. When there's election taking place, everybody cools their heads.
There's 6,000 missiles traveling at 15,000 miles an hour that can reach D.C. in 30 minutes.
I don't think we're there yet.
This war starts and ends in 1 hour.
I know.
It's all gone for all of us.
And again, I know it sounds like that, but again, everyone knows the consequences of that. It's all over. And I just do. I just in my heart of hearts, I believe that whether it's Putin or whether or not it's Biden, I think both of those men understand that they don't have the might or the will to eradicate an entire species in that way. They'd end the world.
Let me make one last statement. be careful how you vote because one person out there is going to get us killed. I don't know any other way to put it. One person out there that you vote for is going to get you killed.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about that.
I know people really do believe that. And like I said, I don't poo-poo anyone's belief. I challenge them at best. Thank you, George. Let's get to Tim in Hamden. I wonder what I said already. Only thing I talked about was me working and working for my wife. I wonder what could have possibly triggered him. Hi, Tim. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Let me see. I have one main topic, but I want to say very quickly, the news today that Georgia is going to hand count the ballots.
So
this is, first off, ballots often in presidential years will include congressional races, maybe city races, state and local Senate races, other races on down all the way to dog catcher. Are you going to are people going to be mad enough and wait, 2 or 3 weeks for this process to go out through and someone will, challenge that?
Let's get it right. What's wrong with getting it right? If hand counting gets it right, what's wrong with that?
Well, I'm sorry. I just, people, we state of Georgia, and I'm sure we.
I don't hear you. No. I hear you debating. I hear you contesting. Wait. I hear you contesting what they're doing. You still haven't told me why it's a problem. You think it's like, so they're going to wait weeks before they get the count. We don't know that. That's a speculation on your part, isn't it?
Not according to the,
let's not talk about according to. Let's talk about what the facts are. Do we have the facts here? Can we talk about the facts?
Well, it'll be an issue. Let's just, look at the fact.
Whoa. How do you know it's going to be an issue? How do you know it's going to be an issue, Tim? You clairvoyant? Are you Kreskin now?
Have you ever been in a hand recount of an election?
I covered the 2000 election with the hanging Chad. Do you know what that took?
You went there and saw the process.
That's how I started my radio career as an intern.
You went there in person.
Let's try it again. Did you miss as an intern for a morning show? That's how I started my career.
Okay. You covered the election.
Yeah. In fact, my first on-air was on September 11th. My first assignment was the Hanging Chads.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's start again. How
long did that take?
It took weeks. It did take weeks, but you're not answering my question. Hand counting is going to be what you believe is going to take a long time. But you still haven't told me what's the alternative, because you love to ask, when we were going to replace Obamacare, it's replace it with what? So, okay, since you like replacing it with what do we replace it with? Machines?
Machines that count the things accurately, and if there are
and the guarantee that the machine will do that is
how?
Of
course they're not going to be. There's not, you recount them later. Okay, you go through and say, okay, this person won by 11,500 votes. And, okay, this is a dispute. Let's recount them later.
They obviously, here's the thing. Have you been watching?
They did.
Tim, have you been watching what's going on in Georgia in what's the name, in Fulton County? Have you been watching the hearings inside legislation with the 300,000 uncertified ballots that they are unaccounted for, that they have no imaging for? Did you follow all of that? Because I did. Did you follow it?
I followed that process. And I know
are you okay with 300,000 votes that are unaccounted for, where there are no photographs of, there's no identifiers for? Are you okay with that?
I am not, again, this is a process that both Democrats and Republicans went through in the state of Georgia. No political party was excluded.
How did we count ballots before machines, Tim? How did we count them before machines, Tim? It's like asking, how did we get phone calls before the cell?
We did. We counted them by hand.
So I think there was never a problem when we counted them by hand before. So you're telling me that the advent of machines, Tim, let me ask the question. Are you telling me that the advent of machines means that we cannot go back to the original? Because we have machines now. We can't go back to the draconian level of counting votes by hand. We have machines.
I will end this topic. Yeah, I had a far more serious topic than this.
What was far more serious?
Basically, go through the process, and count them quickly and efficiently, and
What do you think? One guy's going to count them? One vote for Bush, one vote for Gore, one vote for Bush. Do you think that's what's going on? Is this one guy with all of the votes?
No, of course not. Because again, you're concentrated only on president. I'm not talking about that.
I don't. There's going to be people who are going to be. There'll be a team of people who are going to count the ballots. It's just a couple thousand in many of these cases, and they're going to count it by hand, and guess what? It's going to be accurate. There's going to be somebody who's going to be over their shoulder to double-check them, and that's all. But here's where your real problem is, and Tim, I know you can't admit it. Your real problem with all of this is, and let's be truthful, is that now we're going to know accurately, and no one will be able to complain. Gotta go. That's all.
That's not it at all.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's a consistent thing that the election,
I
will
wouldn't
always
put
be in dispute, even if Biden gets 6 million more votes. It's rigged, it's stolen, blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
but we won't have that problem if it's hand counted. Let me go to a break, Tim. I'm going to a break. Let's go to a break. We'll be back. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, it's Dan Andelman from the Phantom Gourmet. And of course, this message is about food, but not in the way you're probably thinking. You see, I recently started Awaken 180 weight loss, and the results, 15 pounds down in my first
I don't think
2
he's ever
weeks
been in a
alone.
Turkish
After
prison.
years of hosting Phantom Gourmet on TV, it was time for a 180 in my life. And my goal is to lose 50 pounds by the time I turn 50, and that's coming up pretty quick. So just think about it. If I can do it in my line of work, anybody can do it. Because with Awaken 180, I'm losing weight while eating. Listen, I know all the best places for bar pies and roast beef sandwiches.
Julie, I'm
but
not
I
all
didn't
gushy
always know how
inside.
to make the right choices when it comes to my health. What I'm now learning is how to pick and choose the right foods while losing weight and keeping it off. For the best tips on local restaurants, watch Phantom Gourmet every weekend. For the best weight loss program, check out my weight loss program at awaken180weightloss.com.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health.
What did I do? Did I miss something? Hello? Why am I not hearing anything?
In the trash and contact your timeshare resort
That
or
was why.
Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only
30 seconds.
timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
I'm listening. Reading these things inside of the chat room. Julie B. in Boston, she says, okay, you just said you looked at your wife across the park and she was glowing and her dress was flowing in the breeze and her hair was billowing and all the descriptions. I don't think I could get my husband to remember what I have on right this second. Never mind the day he knew he fell in love with me. You are a romantic. I didn't suggest I wasn't a romantic. Truth be told, somebody asked me a long time ago. In fact, someone asked my ex-wife about a year ago. Name something that no one knows about Reese. And she said he loves romantic comedies. And it's true. I'm a big romantic comedy guy. If there's a cheesy romantic comedy that comes out on Netflix, I will be certain to watch it. I don't know why. I just do. So, yes, am I romantic? Not in the sense like, I don't bring flowers often. My wife hates that, actually. She wants me to bring flowers all the time. But, yeah, I mean, I guess in some degree, I could be a romantic. I guess to some degree. Who knows? All right, so, like I said, it is, it's open line, so it's an airing of Grievance Friday. I got to get to my monologue because I have to talk about this thing that happened with Oprah Winfrey and Kamala Harris last night. And I think I need to speak to liberals and Democrats and Kamala supporters about something that you and I need to have a heart-to-heart about, something that is absolutely truthful and honest, that you have to come to terms with. And I know that you have, because if you watched that last night with Oprah Winfrey, I know you're all shaking your heads and sighing to yourselves, is this really the best we can do? And I'm going to explain to you why you're not fooling anybody, much less us. But what's even worse about what happened last night, is that we're not happy for you either. Some of us feel your pain. And I'll explain that. So trust me when I tell you, you're going to want to hear this. All right, so stick around, tell your friends and whatnot. Also, I want to remind you that I want to do this thing at the top of the hour. I do it at the beginning of every show. I play an opening monologue. It's usually something from the news, probably a clip from something I thought was interesting. That's always the theme of the show. But there's a little bit of trivia now, like whether or not you can guess what today's opening monologue was. If you heard today's opening monologue and you could guess the movie that it was from, you know what? I'll give you a T-shirt. I'll give you a Reese on the Radio T-shirt if you can figure out what today's opening monologue was. But you got to do it before the opening of the top of the hour in the next hour. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. It's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. For now, our good friend is back. He's back to tell us what's going on in traffic. And we miss him every time because we just don't believe the traffic if he's not here. And that's Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and everyone. Well, if you're 91 northbound now, look at delays from exit 18 in Meriden up to just north of exit 20. We had an accident between 20 and 21. That has been cleared from the right lane, so that's a delay there. After that, good ride up into Hartford, southbound 91. We got slow traffic now approaching 36, down to 33 Jennings Road, again slowing down by exit 28. And another bump as you move between 23 and 22 and the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. On the eastbound side of 84, look for delays 44 Prospect Oakwood up into the tunnel. Westbound 84, a little slow as you move up on exit 57 in East Hartford, again slowing Bulkley Bridge into Hartford. 291 through 84, okay, so the River 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound. Got slow traffic 17 up to exit 18. And again, some slow traffic getting by exit 26 in Cheshire. Westbound 84 Waterbury slowing 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound, you'll see some slow traffic from 8 in Danbury out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound side of the Parkway a little slow getting by exit 60. Northbound Parkway delays 58 up to exit 59 in New Haven, and 95 south delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
WTIC
For the rest of the afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy, the high of 74 with a busy north-northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild but comfy, the low down to 60. Saturday is the last full day of summer 2024. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy and less humid, the high of 69. That north-northeast wind still 10 to 20 miles an hour. Sunday, fall begins in the morning. It'll be a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high 71. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News and breaking news. President Biden has approved a disaster declaration for Connecticut. This from the flooding and resultant land and mudslides that occurred during torrential rainfall back on August 18th, a little over a month ago. The action now makes federal funding available for those impacted most in Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. Homes and businesses were destroyed, roads and bridges washed out, with some areas receiving over a foot of rain that day. Federal funding will also be made available for hazard mitigation. Robert Fogel with FEMA has been appointed to coordinate the federal recovery operation. There have been multiple arrests in Meriden, where schools were open today in the face of more school threats. Here's WTIC's Dave Mager.
On Thursday, Meriden police were chasing two possible school threats. They were posted on Facebook and Snapchat. 2 local kids were arrested. Another is under investigation. Both cases reposted a message that's been seen elsewhere. Meriden School Superintendent Mark Bonini tells parents reposting will lead to serious consequences. Additional officers were at middle schools on Friday. In a separate case just last week, Meriden police caught up with an Edison middle school student accused of making a threat, also on Snapchat. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
A report out from the State Office of Inspector General says a man who died last year was not the results of any police action. This all happened last October 31st. Police got the call in Wilkett to a home in which they found Robert Scott Brown on the floor of a bedroom in a pool of blood. Officers were attempting to render aid but were rebuffed. The report says Brown, they say, slashed at them with a razor and a large saw. Ultimately, a taser was used to help subdue Brown. He was taken to the hospital. The OIG report, though, says Brown died from multiple blood loss due to self-inflicted wounds. And that case, again, from the Office of the Inspector General earlier today. New report from the Secret Service critical of the agency's performance prior to the July assassination attempt against former President Trump. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
We cannot let another community go through another school shooting. The lives of Appalachia High School and the Barrow County community have been changed forever. This tragedy will be a generational scar that will forever affect everyone in our community.
The students walked out of class in protest, fed up with violence in their schools in Georgia today. This 2 weeks after a student opened fire at a high school in Winder, in which 2 students and 2 teachers were killed. The audio there with Lila Contreras, a 2019 graduate of Appalachia High School. Let's get back to that Secret Service report from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Secret Service Acting Director Ronald Rowe released the report.
This was a failure on the part of the United States Secret Service.
Specifically, a failure on the part of some members of the advance team.
While some members of the advance team were very diligent, there was complacency on the part of others that led to a breach of security protocols.
And Rowe says those members will be held accountable.
And this agency has among the most robust table of penalties in the entirety of the federal government.
Former President Trump was wounded in the ear at that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
In Bloomfield, woman facing charges after police say she told them she set fire to an apartment building early this morning. Maria Salas was in court today on the arson charge. 16 from that Dorothy Drive facility were left impacted. One person, an 89-year-old woman, had to be treated for smoke inhalation. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 37. NASDAQ down 65. S&P down 11 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
My wife does not want to see butterflies. I was saying that I remember going to the botanical gardens, and I want to say it was in Brooklyn, New York, when I was younger, much younger. And there was a room that had butterflies, and I thought that was so beautiful. And they're all over the place, and some would land on you, and that was kind of cool. And the rest of the stuff was just plants. I'm not a plant guy, just not. Anyway, and then she said, hey, let's go to the botanical garden. I'm like, okay, great, sure, why not? Do they have butterflies? She goes, butterflies? What botanical garden has butterflies? Like my experience didn't even exist. Just completely dismissed it. I went, aren't there butterflies at the botanic? That would make sense to me, right? Why would they not have butterflies? They don't have butterflies. I went, oh, then no. Because then it's just touring to see plants and flowers. And I get it. That's women like that kind of stuff, you know. Oh, this one's from Africa. This one's from, the outback of Australia. Nope. I'm just not. I'm not a botanist. I'm not into planting. Just not. I'm not that guy. Just not.
If you do your homework, Reese, you'll know that.
What's that?
Moths are much better than butterflies.
Moths are better than butterflies?
Yeah, research the butterflies and you'll see the negative things about them. I won't say it over the air, but you can do it yourself.
So butterflies are bad and moths are good. I've always thought that moths were like the cockroaches of butterflies. I always did. I thought they were like the rats of the, they're a horrible version of butterflies. They were like the ones that, it's like birds and bats. It's like birds, cool. Bats, evil. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging them. Let's get to the BBS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Bats or moths? Which one would you rather be around, Mark?
Well, bats aren't going to bother me. I know bats eat a lot of mosquitoes. So
do they?
Yeah. I want bats around because they do eat a lot of mosquitoes. I just don't want them living in my what should I say, my attic or anything like that.
Well,
Rama says that mosquitoes. I like that.
Yeah, Rama says that moths are only good for fighting Godzilla. He's talking about Mothra.
Oh. Yeah, right. Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading on 91 northbound, look for delays now from the Middletown Rest area up to exit 20 in Middletown. We had an earlier accident between 20 and 21, so that's a little bit of a delay there. It's still working on that, clearing that out. After that, good ride up into Hartford. Southbound 91 delays 36 down to 33. Again, slowing down by exit 28. More slow traffic 23 to 22 as you move down toward the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Westbound side of 84, just a little tight on the Bulkley Bridge. And you're going to see delays again In Farmington, approaching exit 36, between 33 and 32, we have a problem with a tractor trailer. Looks like they got the right lane blocked there. Also, delay 72 westbound from downtown New Britain as you transition over to 84 west on the New Britain-Plainville line. Now, if you are traveling 84 eastbound in Waterbury, slow traffic 17 to 18. Westbound 84 slows 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Danbury tight from exit 3 out to exit 5. Again, delays 84 eastbound from 9 to 11 in Newtown. Northbound Parkway, you've got slow traffic now as you move up on exit 57 up to exit 59 in New Haven. Southbound Parkway slowing 60 into the West Rock. 95 southbound New Haven slows 46 down to exit 43 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, as we head into the evening and overnight, partly cloudy skies, the low down to 60 degrees for our Saturday, which is the last full day of summer 2024. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy and less humid, the high of 69 Saturday. Fall begins on Sunday morning. It'll be a nice day, though, with a mix of clouds and sun, the high up to 71. Monday, again, clouds and sun to kick off the week, the high back down to 69. Then Tuesday, low clouds, a little cooler, the high 66. Wednesday, lots of clouds, couple of showers, mainly later in the day, the high of 69. Right now, Danbury 74. Let's see, New Haven at 77, Hartford 72. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
September 26th at 7 p.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 is sponsored by Amplify.
It's great to have neighbors you can count on. For more than 45 years, you've been able to count on the law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott for professional legal counsel, from family law and business to property disputes and personal injury claims. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and are your neighbors. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Payne Dearest is responsible for the content of this ad.
This is a commercial. Oh, minute. Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
Airing of grievances coming up soon, but I want to get into my opening monologue. The yeah buts. You know who you are. You support Kamala Harris. And every time you're approached about why you support Kamala Harris, and every time somebody confronts you about the fact that she has no policies and about her 3 years in office, or 3.5 going on 4 years in office, you do the yeah but. Yeah but, yeah but, yeah but. So I want to throw out a couple of things. Maybe you can understand a couple of points, or maybe a point of view that you may not be hearing. And unfortunately, in most cases, you have to be tied down to the ground, held down to the ground, so that we can tell these things to you so you can listen to them. So, I have the microphone and listen. Or you could just turn. You probably will because you don't want to deal with the harsh reality. Whatever. But I know you're curious. So, let me get to this. I hear your candidate talking about just last night about the millions of dollars that Donald Trump's father gave to him. And then comparing that with the regular, average folks, that they don't get that kind of financial benefit. So what? What has he done with those millions of dollars that his father gave him? Did he lose all of the money or did he become wealthier? He did. Did he create jobs and change the skyline of New York? Yes, he did. In fact, he turned that millions of dollars, whatever it was, into billions. Did he fail? A lot. A lot. He failed a hell of a lot. But he kept creating more and more. Just kept building. Put buildings all across the globe, in fact. Giving other people opportunities. Some of them making them millionaires. That's what he did. He also is criticized for how many people who have written horrible things about him because he fired them. He's hired thousands and fired hundreds. These are not pejoratives. These are not bad things. The man got money, built something from it, created things, gave people opportunities. That he did. They didn't all work out. He did create some enemies. He did ruffle some feathers. He's always done that. Every human being in life has done that. We're not all perfect. Neither is he. But I want to give you a contrast to your candidate. You see, your candidate was given things because of their sex and their race. And what did she do with those things? Did those things advance or improve the lives of other people? No. In fact, the only life that it enriched was hers. The job she got, the opportunities she was given. She was given those things. Why? Because she is a so-called black woman. They were handed to her. Those things that she innately has. The opportunities were given to her because of those things. And not one person outside of herself benefited from them. No one became richer. No one became millionaires because of the fact that she was hired for something because she was a woman or elected to some office because she was a skin color. No one else benefited from her benefit at all. And how about the hiring and firing? Kamala Harris has fired no one. She's got a 92% quit rate. People quit on her. Quit on her. That means that they wanted nothing to do with her. People argue that Donald Trump has a loyalty problem. Donald Trump will abandon you if you are not loyal. Kamala Harris can't keep 92% of her staff. She reeks of disloyalty. Doesn't she? Please tell me that you are not putting all of your eggs in the basket of Kamala Harris. You can't be. This is what she's giving the people who adore her as an answer.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently, far more elusive than it's been.
Okay, you can stop, you can unfold yourself out of the ball that you're cringing into right now. Relax, I won't play anymore. I promise I won't. Okay? I know how uncomfortable that makes you. But you know what's worst off? It makes me uncomfortable. I can't believe that woman is on stage in front of Oprah Winfrey and thousands of people, if not millions, watching it, while she blathers and babbles on about nonsensical things. It's embarrassing to watch. And I know it's embarrassing for you. My wife watched that, and the woman who asked her the question starts glazing over in her eyes going, what the hell did I just fall into? She looked like, and you can watch the video yourself, it's on YouTube. That woman looks like she got harangued into a conversation with the girl at the party who won't shut up about things that don't matter. Why did I ask her this? Who picked me? Am I being punked? And then everyone has to, and you know they do, they have to pretend that she's so profound. Yay! This is what happened. Yes! Eloquent. Eloquent. Articulate. Thought-provoking. This is a joke, man. No one believes you. Do you understand that Kamala Harris is a phony? She is a fake. Kamala Harris is Santa Claus. Kamala Harris is the Easter Bunny. Kamala Harris is a figment of your imagination. I'll tell you how phony Kamala Harris is. Kamala Harris is so phony that they had to bring Hollywood actors out to vouch for her. Julia Roberts and Ben Stiller were on Zoom calls to boast a fake person. How else would you sell Kamala Harris to the American people than to use two people who make a living pretending to be other people? It couldn't be more obvious. No one believes that Kamala Harris is going to win. I know that there are some people who are Republicans who think, Donald Trump is got a tough road ahead of him. But I'm telling you, I'm confident in this. No, he does not. No, he does not. I'm going to make a prediction. And it's just a small one. It's minute. Kamala Harris will lose 45% of the black vote in this election. I'm standing on that right now. 45% of the black vote will not vote for Kamala Harris. And that will be the undoing. That in and of itself. Sure, women will vote for her, not many. She'll get less than Hillary Clinton. Sure, there'll be some white men who will vote for her. It will not be at the levels of Hillary Clinton. This election will be an embarrassment. It will be used, by the way, as a means to call the country racist, bigoted, and sexist. By the way, don't forget that. After the election, we will be called the most homophobic, racially racist and sexist country than any other time in our history, without a doubt, because the numbers for Kamala Harris are going to be infinitesimal because of every reason I just gave you. She goes to friends, colleagues, people who support her, and she still looks clownish to the point where people who are in opposition of her can't watch her. She is like a horrible singer on American Idol or The Voice, where you turn the volume down and you go, ooh, that looks bad. Even the people who are opposed to her, we can't even make fun of her anymore because it's embarrassing. Mark my words, this will be abysmal during this election. I don't predict Kamala Harris does 50 million. And if it's that much, it's a stretch in this election. If she does more than that, then we have bigger problems. I swear to you, we have bigger problems. But I'm sorry, I think the American people and you, Democrats, liberals, leftists, who hate Donald Trump, fine. But I know you don't believe in this candidate. And I know that deep down, you'd be ashamed to vote for this woman. Deep down, I know that you're ashamed to support her now. The more she speaks, the more you cringe. But you can always prove me wrong. I doubt it, though. I really, really do. Because other than that, for the love of God, just wait until 2028. Gavin Newsom is waiting. Huh? Trust me, you're going to get California. It's coming to a neighborhood near you. Somebody is waiting to have a poop app where you can mark the defecation on your street corners. Don't worry, 2028's your year. We can't wait until Gavin runs. Everything's going to be all right, as Stretch from Naughty by Nature would say. But you can't vote for this. You can't vote for this and then come to the rest of us and but us about Donald Trump. You can't. We've got a record to stand on. It's 2017 to 2021. We've got a record to stand on. Kamala Harris is currently in office, and she is a babbling fool. You've got nothing. So when you try to morally shame us, but Trump. Yeah, but. The only reason why you have to bring up Trump is because you can't bring up Kamala. You can't. You can't defend her, and you won't. And that's why I know deep down, you ain't pulling that lever for her. You could tell all of us that you are. Fool us as much as you possibly want. The only person you're fooling is you. I know there's some people out there who tell me otherwise. Reese, you can't take these people for granted. Reese, you got to watch out for them. They have no faith in you. I do. I have all the faith in the world in you. I know you know better. Or maybe you don't. But I'm not right. I'm not wrong about this one. I'm not. Go watch that Oprah interview. Come back and tell me how brilliant it was. How you're supporting her even now more than ever. Huh? Seriously. I don't want to laugh at you. I'm sick and tired of laughing at her. I can't watch it. I don't want to laugh at her anymore. I think everybody else who's trying really, really hard, and Oprah did try really, really hard last night, folks. God, it was bad. God, it was bad. But go check it out yourself. See if you can sit through it. My wife couldn't. Whew. We'll get your airing of grievances out. Thank you for being so patient. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading on the northbound side of I-91, still seeing some slow traffic as you move from Middletown up into Cromwell. 91 northbound delays 20 to 22 on the Route 9 interchange. After
hello, L.A.
Into Windsor. Southbound 91 slows 36 down to 33. In Hartford, again, some slow traffic down by exit 28. Another bump 24 down to 23 in Rocky Hill. And another slowdown 22 to 21 in Cromwell. Now, if you're traveling westbound 84, a little tight getting over the Bulkley Bridge, you're going to see delays again because of a problem with a tractor trailer. That's westbound 84 between 33 and 32 on the Plainville-Southington line. Right lane is out there. Delays back to 37 Finneman Road. Behind that, stay to the left. I'll get you by there a little bit easier. 84 eastbound slowing 43 up to 48 Capitol Avenue downtown. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-84 out to exit 5C. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Waterbury, delays approaching exit 18 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 is tied up, moving up toward the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound also slowing in Chester, 26 down to the 691 interchange. If you are traveling 84 eastbound Danbury, you're slowing 3 to 5. 84 eastbound in Newtown, tied up from 8 out to 11 in Newtown. Northbound Parkway delays 57 up to the 59 in New Haven. Southbound Parkway delays 61 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
For the rest of the afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy and breezy, the high of 74. That busy north-northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, mild but comfy, the low down to 60. Saturday is the last full day of summer 2024. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds. It'll still be quite breezy, less humid, the high 69 with that busy north-northeast wind still 10 to 20 miles an hour. Fall begins Sunday morning. We'll have a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 71. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 4:30, Hartford temperature 72 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. President Biden has declared or issued a disaster declaration after the historic flooding last month. That means those in Fairfield, Litchfield, and New Haven counties who have been impacted are now eligible for federal funding to help pay for the recovery after homes, businesses, roads, and bridges were either severely damaged or in many cases destroyed. Woman's in the hospital, another under arrest following an apartment fire in Bloomfield this morning. Maria Salas charged with setting that fire to the building on Dorothy Drive that left 16 displaced. 2 juveniles now facing charges. They made threats to schools in Meriden, schools also in Bristol, Bridgeport, and Torrington impacted by threats today. State police are charging a Litchfield man with risk of injury and cruelty to persons. Matthew Rusbassen was allegedly caught on video abusing a 5-month-old. In-person voting for the presidential election underway in Minnesota, South Dakota, and Virginia as a milestone kicks off a 6-week sprint to Election Day. On Wall Street, the Dow finished up 38 points. The NASDAQ gave back 65, and the S&P was down 11 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
What do you love about driving? Tonight, the CW is the exclusive new home.
I love the competition, the intensity
of the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
I love taking a 3,400-pound piece of metal and making it do things it doesn't want to do.
What's not to love?
I just love this game.
Drivers to your car. Get ready for 8 weeks of heart-pounding NASCAR action. Here we go.
And the NASCAR Xfinity Series,
including every playoff race.
It's about to get crazy.
Oh! Into the wall hard. The CW.
They're side by side for the lead. Who's going to get there first?
Has the speed you need. Be there as legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues his pursuit for glory. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Season premiere tonight, live from Bristol Speedway, only on the CW.
The season premiere of the NASCAR Xfinity Series, tonight at 7 on WCCT TV 20, Connecticut's home of the CW.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
September 26th at 7 p.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 is sponsored by Amplify.
Do you have shoebox?
1 minute.
Today only, radio listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of 4x6 photos. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media, so you can get your favorite memories on VHS or Grandpa's film reels from the 40s digitized too. Take advantage of this exclusive box today and preserve your past for as low as 7 cents. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let me take one call that, of course, has been on hold forever. Let's go to the Sean in Meriden. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing well, and I really appreciate what you just shared because I swear you've been in my head. Because I'm gonna go through. I got a couple points, but everything that you said is spot on. But like number one, they make fun of President Trump because he built something. That means you fail. If you ever built a business, and I have, you have successes and failures, and that's what makes you a better business person, and your ethics will follow you.
Yeah.
And that's why she can't build a business. Okay. And she is really in making fun of him is showing that she's pro-government and not pro-business.
So much
Number
so.
one. Number two, about loyalty and being able to, she stabbed Biden in the back. She knew what he was doing. She knew how he was, and she blew smoke up America's skirts for how many years, and then all of a sudden her opportunity came, boom. Just like when she was in San Francisco, when she slept with a guy, married Ann, to get the position she did, or get higher up, she did the same thing to Biden. She basically screwed him first chance she got.
Yeah.
Then they're anti-white guys. Then you pick a white guy for a vice president who is pro-abortion up until the 9th month, in which in his state, you can leave a baby that's born out of a botched abortion 9 months and let it die.
Yep.
Not give it. So how are you pro-life, but you'll let a baby die? And she was, and I'll end on this. I'll cut my other one short. I just heard her start speaking in Georgia. Okay. And she's like, oh, you have a right to choose, and Trump's abortion. It's not Trump's abortion, man. It's the United States of America's choice to put it back to the states, and each state decides. It's not Trump's abortion thing. But here's the deal. Where is your outrage for the 320,000 kids that you used to open the border that you can't find or account for?
Indeed. Every point made and absolutely taken. I don't, like I said, I don't think, you're welcome. I don't believe that there's anyone with a conscience who is sitting up here telling me, and again, making the arguments about Donald Trump and the wealth thing. By the way, I don't care what anybody says. My explanation of Donald Trump getting millions of dollars from his father, I would have called him a joke if he had gotten $1 million from his father and he had turned into nothing. Right. But you can't take millions of dollars and turn it into the empire that is the Trump name. Right. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's got 150% name recognition. Right. You could talk about how much money he was given. Obviously, his father is dead now, so he's got no other help. He's had no other help beyond his father. Not one person can accredit his success to his father other than his father's personal loan, but he worked for his father, and he worked for his father before his father, gave him the loan. But in essence, to take that money, yes, absolutely. To take that money, that would be a gift to anyone. But what he did with it, what he built with it, the careers he created with it, the lives that he improved with it, and he has, trust me, the fact that man could walk through his buildings and have people love him and support him in the way in which they do is, again, a testament to who he is as far as his success is concerned. I gotta get to the BPS traffic. I got it, Sean. I got to go to the BPS traffic center, but thank you for your call nonetheless. Let's get back to Mark Christopher. Thanks, Mark. Hi.
Hey, thank you, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, we're seeing delays on the westbound side of 84 as you approach the Bulkley Bridge, and then you're going to see delays again between exit 37 up into the Plainville Southington line. We have a problem with a tractor trailer. Right lane's blocked, westbound 84. between exit 33 and 32. So once again, delays back to 37 in Farmington behind that. That's also affecting 72 westbound in downtown New Britain as you try to transition to 84 west. 84 eastbound slows 43 up to 48 Capitol Avenue downtown. Southbound 91, look for delays from exit 35 down to 32A and B in Hartford. More slow traffic down by exit 28. And you'll see another bump down by exit 24 in Rocky Hill. More slow traffic in Cromwell as you move between exit 23 and 21. Northbound side of I-91 slows from 20 up to 22 in Cromwell. After that, a little tight as you approach exit 25, 26 in Wethersfield. 291, 384 moving okay. 2 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-84 out to exit 5A in East Hartford. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Waterbury delays 17 to 18. 84 eastbound again slowing getting by exit 26 in Cheshire. If you're heading 84 eastbound in Danbury, delays 3 to 5. 84 eastbound slowing again 8 in Danbury out to exit 11 in Newtown. Northbound Parkway, look for slow traffic now as you approach exit 59 into the West Rock Tunnel. Southbound Parkway delays 60 into the tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
As we head through the evening and overnight, partly cloudy skies, comfortable with the low down to 60 overnight. Then for Saturday, the last full day of summer 2024, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. It'll be quite breezy, less humid, kind of a cool feeling day. The high 69, but that northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained. They'll make it feel a little cooler. Sunday, nice day, the first day of fall with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 71. A mix of clouds and sun Monday as well, the high 69. Low clouds Tuesday, 66 for a high, and lots of clouds and a couple of showers, but mainly later in the day on Wednesday, the high back to 69. Right now, Granby 72, Mansfield 66, Hartford 72. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Become a member at AmericanEagle.org.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
I'm Todd Director from Connecticut Lighting Centers. Looking for lampshades, mirrors, home accents, or home decor? Connecticut Lighting Centers has you covered. We are your one-stop shop for all of your home needs. Connecticut Lighting Centers with showrooms in Hartford and Southington or online at ctlighting.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready. Talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Welcome, everybody, to the chat room. I see you, Kevin L., Julie B., of course, Jason D. is in the house, Fritz the Cat, L.A. Thank you all, Michael A., Michael B. hanging out as well. And don't forget to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com for the stupidest thing I've read today. Taylor Swift. Find out who she's less popular than, according to the New York Times. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. and look up the stupidest thing I've read today. Also, I've got a crazy video of a robot running over a suspect. It's welcome to Skynet, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crazy video. They sent in a robot to pull a guy out who's in a hotel room. You got to watch it. It's insane. Back to the phones we go. Steven is in Middletown. How you doing, sir?
Good, Reese. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Hey, all right. Here's my grievance.
Okay.
Kamala claiming that she grew up as a middle-class kid.
Yeah, everybody's.
Her father was a tenured professor at Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother was a PhD medical researcher, again, at Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't own a home because they probably got academic housing.
Probably.
You know?
And her dad, I'm finding this out. Help me out here, Stephen. Is her father still alive? Why is I know he's in his 80s.
He was, because a couple of years ago, or at least when she was named vice president, he was alive.
Okay, because I do remember him being critical of her when she laughed on that Breakfast Club show about smoking marijuana and saying, I'm Jamaican, of course I smoked weed. And her father was very disappointed that she would associate marijuana, the old trope of, because I'm Jamaican, I smoke marijuana. He was very upset about that. But I haven't heard from him since. Because someone wrote an article, I think, in the Daily Beast about, it could have been a Daily Beast. I could be wrong, but I know it was some left-wing outlet talking about why Kamala Harris is estranged from her dad, the black side of her family.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, half black.
Yeah, right. L.A. says he is alive. But thank you, Stephen. I appreciate your airing of grievance. You got it. White Mike is in Florida. I know he's got a good grievance today. Who you got? What you got for me, Mike?
Well, I want to say if Kamala Harris is truly black, as she says, I'd like to have her tell me what her favorite Jay-Z Kanye duet is.
Yes, and have her say the word.
So I think the theme of your show today has been underestimation.
Okay.
Can I elaborate?
Yeah, please.
One of your callers talked about Putin, and you said, Putin's a dictator, but he loves his people. He's a leader of his people, and he doesn't want to see the destruction of his country. But Russia also has the belief that a world without Russia is not a world worth being.
Okay.
So if we allow the British and us to arm the Ukrainians with long-range missiles, and they're able to launch attacks into the heartland of Russia, well, then that's a NATO attack on Russia.
Right.
And how much is Russia expected to absorb before they decide to lash out at NATO? And realistically, that would be justified.
No, and it would be. But here's my question to you again. It still takes the provocation, right? So we have to ask ourselves, yes, there would the expansion of NATO goes against the deal with Vladimir Putin. However, the long-range missiles argument is that will NATO, which I don't believe, I'm sorry, I think they're too weak-kneed to even think of it, would start bombing the inside Russia? I don't think so.
Oh, no. But Zelensky will.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Don't get me wrong. I think Zelensky's I think he's far worse than any other of half the people we talk about as far as a dictatorship. I think this guy's a radical.
Dead Russian citizens killed with American or British missiles is just like the scene in Iron Man when Tony Stark found out that Stark Tech was being used to kill innocent civilians.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But you're also underestimating the absolute stupidity of white women when you think that Kamala Harris can't get elected.
Okay, go ahead. White women are going to be upset at you, by the way.
Oh, I don't care. I live in a very conservative part of Florida. My county has been Republican for 50 years. It's red. And every Thursday, I drive home from work and I see 15 Kamala Harris supporters standing alongside the highway waving signs for Harris Walls. And they all look exactly like you'd think they would.
Wow. Yeah, no, I get it. No, listen, I am not suggesting that the awfuls, and you know who they are, I'm not suggesting that the awfuls don't exist. And I do believe that a strong contingents of white women are going to be a relative factor in this election. However, I don't think that women find Kamala Harris attractive in that way. When I mean attractive, as a world leader.
But they hate Donald Trump.
Clearly.
And I'll get off real quick. I have one thing to say about the border.
Yeah.
If our southern border was being invaded by hot Asian girls and big booty Latinas, there would be a phalanx of American women at the border overnight to stop that.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Not that you're wrong. Yes, I think women would immediately put an end to that. Matt's in Bristol. How you doing, Matt? That's actually a pretty good one.
Hello, Mr. Hopkins. How are you doing?
How are we doing? How did that link do for you?
I'm going to flip the script on you, and I'm going to do an airing of gratitude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because last night, I fell asleep to watching the Jets destroy those awful, disgusting New England.
They were horrible, weren't they?
I told you that was going to happen.
I had to fall asleep with a smile on my face.
But you did. Okay, so you did get to watch them when I sent you the link. By the way, that started a groundswell of people in my inbox saying, "Could you send me the link too? Can you send me the link too?"
I bet it did. And one other thing, real quick, another gratitude. So the reason Rush Limbaugh was so popular wasn't because he told people what to think. It's because he articulated what we already thought. And that's exactly what you were doing. And that's exactly what that other caller was saying. So thank you for being the next generation, and we love you.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I may have to destroy the airing of grievances now just because of that. No, I'm kidding. Thank you.
No, I love the airing of grievances. Don't get rid of it.
Exactly. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated. John is in Wethersfield. How you doing, John?
Hey, Reese, how you doing?
I'm all right, sir. How are you?
How much do I have?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How much time do I have?
I'll give it 3.
Oh, I don't need that much.
Okay.
So watching Kamala Harris doing that interview and answering those questions.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Cheers?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so at the end of I think it was season 3 or 4. I think it was 4. When Sam dated the politician.
Okay.
She ended up when she went to the bar, and Fraser asked the question. And she did a total roundabout, didn't answer the question, and everybody at the bar was like, "Oh, wow, that's such a great answer." And Fraser's sitting there like, "She didn't say anything."
Right.
That's exactly what it is. You got to get that clip. It's right at the beginning. I think it was at the end of season 4.
End of season 4. Okay, I will look for it because that'll probably.
It was at the end of a season. I remember it was at the end of the season because at the end of that show, that's when he proposes to what's her name?
Rebecca.
And the next season is when they're engaged. No.
Oh, Shelley Long.
Shelley Long. Right.
I think. What was Shelley Long's? Oh, Diane.
Diane.
Okay, I will definitely find that clip.
With my grievance.
Go for it.
My grievance, because my wife is sick and tired of me complaining about this. When you watch a great show, or sitcom, or a series or something, and it's always right around season 6 or 7, they take this turn. I don't know if it's a new writer or whatever. It's just terrible, and you just have to sit through it because you just wanted to see it because you got so much time vested into it.
Right.
But it's just so terrible, and they're just sitting there just to get the money. You know what they're doing? It's just to get the ratings.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing. You're right on point. You know what used to be my biggest problem? I knew that a television show was going nowhere, or it ran out of steam or ideas the minute that a television show introduced a baby.
Yes, I was going to say that. The baby, absolutely. Every time.
Every time. It's funny because it's like they had to introduce a new dynamic to the show, and shows that I can honestly go to where it only lasted the first year where the new child was introduced. Cosby introduced Raven Simone. You might remember that.
Yep.
And do you remember on Family Ties, they introduced the little the son, and he was Alex P. Keaton, sort of like he was his little mini me.
Time, though.
Yeah,
that was like 3 or 4 seasons. But I thought you were gonna say Growing Pains.
Which one?
Growing Pains.
Oh, Growing Pains. Yeah, that was another one. Yes, Growing Pains did that as well. So they always introduce this other character because they run out of character lines or character plots for everyone in there. So they have to introduce somebody new. But usually, sometimes it works, but other times you know that it's pandering to the audience that we've run out of stuff. Yeah. Brady Bunch and Cousin Oliver, Rama just said in the chat room, that was jumping the shark for that show.
So, but the show that I was doing was The Walking Dead. Right after season like 7 or 8, it just takes this turn. It's just so terrible. It's just so fake, and I'm trying to understand what happened. And my wife did the research and said, "Oh, it's a new writer." I was like, "I can."
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what it is.
When the writers, you know what? The writers get so successful because of what they've done on the show so far. They move on to other projects and they get more money. Oh, Craig said it as well. He's always said, "Remember Oliver and the Brady Bunch?" He says, "And the girl on All in the Family." That was Danielle, if I'm remembering correctly. Danielle, who ended up being a part of the new Archie's Place series.
Yeah.
That's I remember that as well.
There's 2 things, but one thing. Did you with your opening monologue? Did you ever say what movie that was from?
Oh no, I didn't. But it is Aunt May. What's that?
Oh, I thought it was Titanic.
Nope, it's Aunt May in Spider-Man 2, and she's telling Peter about heroes. This is just after Peter Parker saves her. Well, after Spider-Man saves her life, and she's talking about heroes. But yes, it's Aunt May in Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right, there was something else I was going to talk about the shows, but I forget what it was now.
That's okay.
Matter.
That's all right, sir. Thank you for the call. Let me take Joe and can I take? Yeah, let's take Joe in Simsbury real quick. What's going on, Joe?
Hi there. I'd be interested in. I just saw the note about the voicemail that you got, so I'd be interested in that. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Okay.
But I was very surprised that someone like Tim called up and really, as a male, didn't want to resolve the erectile dysfunction going on in Georgia and came up with those bogus reasons. That's just such a sign of someone who doesn't want, the actual truth to come out. And you did a great job in terms of nailing that.
Yeah.
But I want to mention my grievance here.
Yes, sir.
My grievance is against people that I will describe as being, as we were talking about yesterday with Bonhoeffer and the theory of stupidity, they're beyond stupid, but they're also in that demonic category. And I'm going to justify that statement because that is a pretty harsh statement to say about another human being. I'm not going to do it, but if I were to get a police report through the Freedom of Information Act describing the sexual assault of a woman and read it on the air, people would probably A, turn the channel,
right?
B, be sickened and disgusted. Yet we have 150 Democrats elected to one of the highest offices in the land, blocking the removal of people who are convicted of doing that,
That's
not
right.
accused of doing it, convicted of doing that, from being removed from the United States as part of the penalty for doing that.
Yep.
And I just think that there's certain issues that come up in society where it's not a disagreement about, should the Fed reduce rates? Should we tax the rich?
Right. It's not an ideological difference. This is pure and unmitigated evil.
It really is. And to be a Democrat, and I don't know yet because I haven't looked if any Connecticut Democrats were in that 150.
Yeah.
But I can't think of almost anything other than pedophilia and supporting of pedophilia that would be as filthy and disgusting, as reprehensible as
Joe,
as supporting that.
Joe, hold on.
Illegals doing that.
Joe, hold on to your hats because trust me, I'm going to blow your mind with the audio I've got for you in the next hour. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon. And if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, look for delays approaching 34 down to 32 on A and B, and you're going to see another slowdown down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. More delays again, approaching 24 down to 23 in Rocky Hill. Northbound side of I-91 slowing from 18 up to Middletown rest area. Again, some slow traffic as you move between 20 and 21 in Cromwell. After that, easy ride Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound side of 84 looking real good. Vernon out into West Hartford. We are seeing some heavy delays, though, because of a hazmat situation involving a tractor trailer, and that is 84 westbound between exit 33 and 32 on the Plainville-Sunnyton line, right lane out there. Delays back to 37 Fitterman Road in Farmington. 72 westbound also affected by this as you try to transition to 84 westbound, backed up into downtown New Britain behind that. Now, if you are heading in toward Glastonbury, 2 eastbound is okay. East Hartford into Glastonbury, 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 9 northbound is a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Heading toward Waterbury, 84 eastbound, you're tight 17 up to 18. Again, a little tight, 84 eastbound by exit 26 in Cheshire. Westbound 84 is a little slow, approaching the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Danbury, you got delays 8 out to exit 11 in Newtown. If you are traveling northbound on the Parkway, a little slow, 59 into the West Rock. Southbound Parkway slow, 61 to 60. 95 South New Haven slowing from 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of the afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy, the high of 74 with a busy north-northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild but comfy, the low down to 60. Saturday is the last full day of summer 2024. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy and less humid, the high of 69. That north-northeast wind still 10 to 20 miles an hour. Sunday, fall begins in the morning. It'll be a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high 71. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
5 o'clock, 71 degrees in Hartford. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Federal aid may be coming Connecticut's way after President Biden approved a disaster declaration for parts of the state after historic flooding last month. Those impacted in Fairfield, Litchfield, and New Haven counties will now be eligible for assistance. The August 18th storm dropped over a foot of rain on some areas, washing out bridges and roads and damaging or destroying homes and businesses. Brenda Bergeron, the Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, explains the setup for those who need to apply.
It looks like there will probably be 2 of them, and we're going to try to space them so that they are as available as possible to people that have been affected.
Now, residents can also apply through the website disasterassistance.gov or by calling 800-621-FEMA. State Inspector General says Wolcott police are not responsible for the death of a man who died by suicide while in their custody. We get the story from WTIC's Dave Mager.
It was early on Halloween last year. Police found 52-year-old Robert Brown in a pool of his own blood in a bedroom at his mother's house. He had slashed himself multiple times. Brown was uncooperative with police, refusing treatment. Police tried to tase him to get him into an ambulance. Brown kept them away with a razor and a saw blade. The taser eventually worked. Brown was brought to the ambulance, but had lost so much blood he lost vital signs, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. The chief medical examiner ruled the case a suicide. The inspector general agrees, saying Brown's death was not the result of anything police did. Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
An urgent call for more resources. That's at the crux of a report released today by the Secret Service on the assassination attempt on former President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania in July. Acting Director Ronald Rowe says the service needs to change the way it operates.
It's become clear to me is we need a shift in paradigm in how we conduct our protective operations. As was demonstrated on Sunday in West Palm Beach, the threat level is evolving and requires this paradigm shift.
The House today passed a measure requiring presidential nominees to have the same level of Secret Service protection that the president and vice president enjoy. Another day of threats upended school schedules across Connecticut. Threats impacted districts including Bristol, Torrington, and Bridgeport. Classes were called off in the Park City. Thursday night, the Bristol School Superintendent's Office sent out notification that there'd be no school today. In Meriden, police say 2 juveniles were picked up for posting threats to Facebook and Snapchat. In Torrington, officials there say they'd gotten wind of several threats posted on social media as well, threatening violence. Woman's in custody after police say she admitted to setting fire to an apartment building this morning in Bloomfield. 70-year-old Maria Salas was in court to face an arson charge. Firefighters were called to the building on Dorothy Drive around 3 this morning. The town's fire marshal, Roger Nelson, tells WFSB they were met with heavy flames.
First units got here. They found heavy fire on the first floor. Fire had extended up through the second floor, one of the second floor apartments, and was up into the roof line at that point.
Over a dozen were displaced, and one person, an 89-year-old woman, was taken to the hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation. Wall Street, the Dow up 38 today. The NASDAQ lost 65 points, and the NASDAQ dropped 11 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Atlas Roofing Shingles with Scotchgard Protector. Protect your home and avoid those dark stains on your roof caused by algae. Available now from the Peter L. Brown Company. For a free roofing estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
A devastating for your business. Would you be back up and running in less than 24 hours?
I guess when I realized how bad the fire was, I called Tab.
That's Ben DeVivo with Willimantic Waste Paper Company. They recycle anything from paper to mattresses.
Right away, I got their after-hours service, and within minutes, one of the technicians called me back. He logged into our server, saw that it was offline. The technician and the head of operations actually came on site to see what they could do. We talked about if we were able to get into the building, what we could recover. We got our server out. We went to a remote location. Tab set that up. They worked tirelessly throughout the night, and they got us up and going for the next morning.
Tab Computer Systems got Ben's fire-ravaged business back up and running in less than 24 hours.
It was amazing. I was impressed.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience to get your office and keep it running. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
In the next hour, folks, I'm just after this break, I'm going to play you something, and I'm not going to play it all. I just do have to play this because of Joe in Simsbury phone call. We'll take Jay in Waterbury before I play it. But Joe, if you're out there, and the rest of you out there, what Joe is talking about, evil, pure evil, is what you are going to hear. And this is being normalized in our society. And there is a reason why it has to be stopped. There's a reason why things like elections matter. And local elections matter. You have to start asking people that you're voting for whether or not they support the normalization of this behavior. The only thing that I will tease is if you don't know who this young lady is, her name is Dr. Lindsay Doe, D-O-E. I'll tell you a little bit about her. And then I will play you the video. And I will only play a short piece. I will not play it again. I will only play the short piece. And it's probably about, I want to say, maybe 15 words. And it is all you need to hear. You will look up the rest of the video if you want to. But what this woman says in this video will shock you. And I mean shock you. And then you'll know that what needs to be done is we have to fight for this country. We got to get it back to a level of normalcy. So stick around. Let's get back to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound, look for delays 35 down at 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28. Another bump again as you move between exit 24 and 23 in Rocky Hill, and more slow traffic from 22 down to exit 20 in Middletown. Northbound 91 delays by exit 18 in Meriden. Again, delays 20 up to exit 22 in Cromwell. After that, pretty good ride, Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound side of 84, that looks good. Vernon out into West Hartford. Delays from exit 37 in Farmington up to exit 33 in Plainville. The 72 interchange, we had a hazmat situation with a tractor trailer between 33 and 32, but that just cleared over the last couple of minutes, so that will start to improve. Also look for slow traffic, 72 westbound from downtown New Britain to the 72 interchange. Now, if you are heading 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay in the Glastonbury. Both sides of 9 a little slow at the Ariconi Bridge in Middletown. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound, some slow traffic between 17 and 18, and again by 26 in Cheshire. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound and Danbury delays 8 out to exit 11 in Newtown. Traveling northbound Parkway a little slow, 59 into the West Rock. Southbound Parkway slows 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 South New Haven slows from 46 to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Partly cloudy skies tonight. It'll be mild but comfy with the low down to 61. For Saturday, the final full day of summer 2024, it'll be breezy with a mix of sun and clouds, the high of 68. But that busy north-northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day will make it feel cooler. Sunday, fall begins in the morning. It'll be a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high 71. Monday, kicking off the new week, again with some clouds and sun, the high of 69. Low clouds on Tuesday with the high 66. Wednesday, you'll want your umbrella, a thick cloud cover, a thick cloud cover with a couple of showers around, but mainly later in the day. There we go, the high of 69. Right now, New London at 67, Mansfield 66, Hartford 72. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Now, your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Men, though it really does go without saying, practicing better medicine almost always means better outcomes for patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And because we do practice better medicine, we're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues in the Northeast. ED is a terrible condition. It causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But I want to tell you today that you can be free of ED. Seriously, if you're like most men, the treatments we offer at Northeast Men's Health will work for you. In fact, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can likely enjoy great sex again without the stress that ED can create. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared. Try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online. Or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The airing of grievances. Got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
Let's go straight to the phones real quick. What's up, Jay in Waterbury? How are you today, sir?
Hello, Reese.
Yes, Jay. How are you?
Yes, very good. First of all, I could go real quick. First of all, it was well known Republican President Reagan spoke about the evil empire. You know what that was, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. And the other thing is, women's right, abortion. I don't really go for it, but 50% of the abortion, that abortion is caused by a pregnancy. 50% of that pregnancy is caused by what? males. So if the males, they ain't going to support that woman. I mean, can you handle a baby inside your body? And if a male that creates, he just squirts. And if he creates that baby, then he should be responsible for taking care of that baby.
You know what? I've asked men,
and he ought to be castrated if he
Jay.
don't
Well,
take
that's
care of it.
insane, Jay. Hold on. Now listen. I've asked men about this, and this is the interesting thing.
Yeah, right.
No, sir, no. Here's the interesting thing. I've asked men this. I said, if there was no if they had never invented abortion, in essence, you get pregnant. There's, it was outlawed. Just the invention in and of itself. No doctor knew how to perform it, and you had to have a baby if you got pregnant. I asked men, would you perform safer sex or would you abstain? 9 out of 10 said they would abstain or have safer sex. They would. But because, hold on, because they have abortion, and because now 50% of them are performed with a pill, mifepristone, people are treating it like it's a form of birth control.
Yeah, right. And actually, Christian religion, I was born and raised a Christian, and most Christians, they don't even believe that kind of stuff either. And the worst problem in our world is human population growth. And as far as I'm concerned,
you got a problem with the population?
Of course.
No, of course. Wait, Jay. Jay, there's no evidence to support that we're overpopulated.
What?
Yeah, you can't hear me if you're yelling. I apologize. Jay, there's no evidence. Jay?
Respectable Bob Steele was a respectable radio host, and the WTIC does not have that anymore.
Okay, all right,
lost it.
Thanks, Jay. Much appreciated, buddy. I appreciate you calling in. I'm sorry that I wasn't respectable enough to you. My apologies. Oh, poor guy. Anyway, Mike, hold on for me real quick. So, Joe in Simsbury was talking about the fact that, 150 Democrats were against a bill that would remove people who committed crimes against women or children, boys and girls included, that they wouldn't. And again, the depravity of members of this party. And I think it should be asked to many people, perhaps Chris Murphy as well, how he feels about that. But one step further is this video I'm about to tell you. I'm about to play for you, I should say. But I want to read you a little bit of background. The young lady's name is Lindsay Doe. Born in the 80s, 1981 to be exact. We don't have her exact date. But she is a sexologist and a sex educator. She is very popular, or was very popular, on YouTube. She is a self-described sexologist with a Master of Science at the University of Montana, which she gained in 2005. She talks about sex, especially that of the LGBTQIAAQAA2 ratio. I don't know what that is, whatever. But her YouTube channel, in April of 2023, had 1.7 million subscribers. Total views to her site, her YouTube, 260 million. What does someone like Dr. Lindsay Doe talk about? What does she believe? Well, a video is surfaced on Libs of TikTok. You all know it, those of you who are online, where Lindsay Doe, Dr. Lindsay Doe, says this, and I'll only play it once, and I'll only play a small piece of it. I might upload it to my Facebook page so you can watch it yourself, but listen closely. Don't move.
.org. It's short for virtuous pedophiles. Not virtuous as in they're better than everyone because they're attracted to children, but virtuous like having moral standards and a sexual orientation that they have no control over.
That's what she's promoting. The LGBTQAA2 ratio has a new letter. And they're just promoting this online as in sexual orientation. Now, I've got to ask, as does everyone else, right? Remember, we're asking a lot of important questions of this party. There's no doubt Dr. Lindsay Doe is a liberal, Democrat, probably supports Kamala Harris, full-throated support of Kamala Harris, probably can't stand the evil Donald Trump. But a video like this is now gaining ground. A lot of people have watched it. It's everywhere. It's all anyone can talk about online. I think we need to start talking about this distinction, whether or not guys like Chris Murphy believe that they should be categorized as a distinction. A sexual orientation. Shouldn't we? Don't you think that that's a really, really good question in this election year as we're talking about people? Kamala Harris said it in this, whatever this joke was, with Oprah Winfrey, right? We should live in a world where you're allowed to be who you are, love who you love, without fear. Does this count? Does this count? Please don't sit up here and tell me, and I hope they say something silly like, no one's thinking about that. No one wants to make that. Really? College professors are. Plenty of people within these groups are. You tell me. 860-522-WTIC. Mike is in Plainville. How are you, sir?
I'm going to make believe that I'm a dietitian. You know, Lindsay, maybe you should go on the lead diet.
I don't understand. I don't understand how these people, and we're talking about, look, this isn't in some crazy back of the internet, dark web kind of, what's it? These people are doing this openly, talking about this and giggling about it online. Yes, it's just a way of life.
And what they look like, and their eyes were bulging out of their head. That's me after watching 10 seconds of Kamala Harris talking and that pandering and patronizing everyone. She makes me sick. She's disgusting.
It is a little, it's uncomfortable to watch because, again, like I said, it's like watching a bad singer on one of these hit talent shows. It's like, aren't you embarrassed for yourself? Like,
I am. The Gong Show.
Yeah.
Going back to the Gong Show years ago. Now,
totally forgot about
that. I
that.
got a better one for you. I think I have a good lawsuit. Now, I got carpet tunnel on my left hand from changing the channel so much. There's nothing to watch. You get commercials. Could I sue the FCC? Could I sue some of them?
So you're gonna sue him because the programming is so bad and you've got to turn the channel.
I've got an injury to my left wrist and left hand. Can I sue him for $10 million?
You know what? Listen, because we don't have tort reform in this country, have at it. Have at it. Listen, even if it gets thrown out, Mike, I want that. Listen to me. An accomplishment, Mike, let me tell you something. Not only am I with you, listen to me. First of all, we should turn this into a class action lawsuit. I don't care if it gets thrown out. You understand me? I don't care if this gets thrown out. All I want is a headline. That would be a reward enough. If we could get a class action lawsuit that everything on television is so awful, we got carpal tunnel, that we could, and have them throw it out, but have every network there so we can have a press conference about it, it would be brilliant. That would be worth the whole thing.
I'll show up for the press conference, and I'll bring my bulging eyes with me.
Right, bring your bulging eyes, and you know what? Everyone walk in with like an ace bandage on their arm. That would be, listen to me, just the pure theater of it would be absolutely funny. That's the best idea ever. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, my God.
I appreciate you, buddy. Terry is in Texas. How are you doing, sir?
What up, Reese? I got to pivot off my initial grievance. I'll have to save that for next week or something, because my first grievance this week is going to be people that bring up Zoom meetings at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, and they're right now 23 minutes late. I'm sitting here staring at my damn iPad like a retard. Oh, can you say that word?
Nope, you can't.
Anyway, hit the button now, dude.
That's all right. We'll get past it.
Yeah, and the second one is, man, and I want to say that this next grievance was inspired by a couple of your last callers, especially Jay back there a second ago. I don't understand these liberal type callers that call into radio shows with professional radio hosts, especially ones that are such as informed as yourself, try to start arguments. And then when they lose the argument, they're like, that's not even really why I called in the first place. I actually have more important things to talk about. And they have no point, no background, no facts or any information other than the crazy stuff they come up with on their little, rabbit holes where they're searching on Twitter with people that think just like they do. It's like, man, just put your mask back on, kick back, relax, and listen to an actual show, and you don't have to participate.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just
Get
say
another
that.
booster.
Nobody needs to hear it.
You know what? You're 100% right. Put a mask on, get another booster shot, and chill.
Just eat the kale salad, through the mask, whatever you got to do, and leave us all alone because nobody wants to hear your drama. So I do have one. I'll catch you next week. I'm waiting for the Zoom meeting to start any second. I'm not turning my video.
You got it. Good
weekend, man.
Good luck. Good luck. I appreciate that. Always appreciate the call. Again, like I said, this is what we're up against. Now, I said this before, but I never really got into it. The reason why I played this whole Lindsay thing was, one, it was inspired because of Joe and Simsbury's call. And it is where we are. It's not conspiratorial to say or suggest that things have gone a bit over the top. But I said this a long time ago, 2 years ago, when I joined this network, that they are throwing the kitchen sink because they are desperate, that people are either going to catch on to them. And think about what they do, right? They pressure you. They tell you you're not allowed to push back. You're not allowed to have an issue with these things. If you don't comply, we must destroy you, and we will. And we will get anyone and everyone we can to destroy you. And I refuse to fall. I just won't. I won't stand by and let it happen. But this is something that I've recognized about this generation, and it's no different from any generation in history. When someone wishes to change a society or they wish to push back against a society, they always use sex. It is the rawest and the simplest thing for you to try to, let's say, uproot or to change. Sex. They always go for it. They always want to be more provocative and much more risque. Right? That's what it's all about. Making sure that we can show a little more skin, or we can allow certain things on camera. Sex is always where they go. When they wish to be provocative, it's never about thought. No one ever wants to be thought-provoking, thought-provocative. They always want to be sexually provocative because it's all they got, because it's the rawest, it's the simplest, it's the base, it's animal. And that's who they are, animals. They're not thinkers. They're just not. Which goes back to what I said yesterday about the theory of the stupid. They have to use sex because beyond that, they have nothing. There are no thoughts. And this depravity is exactly what you'd expect from a people who have run out of ideas. Let's just do something more and more sick. Sorry. But that's the way it is. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher. How we doing, Mark?
We're doing okay, Reese. Not bad at all. This traffic report is being brought to you by Whittlesey. And if you're making your way on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic in Hartford from 35 down to 32A and B. And again, another bump down by exit 28. More slow traffic as you move 23 in Rocky Hill down to 21 in Cromwell. Northbound 91 delays 20 up to 22 in Cromwell. After that, good ride Hartford up into Windsor. 84 westbound, very quiet right now, burning out into West Hartford. If you're on the westbound side of 84 in Farmington, look for slow traffic 37 up to exit 35 in New Britain from an earlier problem. 84 eastbound delays 44 Prospect Oakwood up into the downtown tunnel. 291 eastbound is okay. 384 moving well. Manchester and Bolton. 2 eastbound looks good. Glastonbury to Marlborough. 9 northbound a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you're traveling 84 eastbound in Newtown, delays 9 to 11. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 westbound Waterbury slowing from 23 into the Mixmaster. If you're heading down toward New Haven, southbound Parkway a little tight from exit 60 into the West Rock. 95 southbound slows 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic in Whittlesey wants your business to succeed. Whittlesey is more than an accounting firm. They're advocates for your business, delivering a robust set of solutions, including audit, tax, technology, cybersecurity, and advisory services. Learn more at WAdvising.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
With fall around the corner and everyone back to their busy routines, finding time for dental care can be tough. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester is open 7 days a week with late hours. Get the care you need when it's convenient for you. Call 860-730-6030 or ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
WTIC.
For the rest of the afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy, the high of 74 with a busy north-northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild but comfy, the low down to 60. Saturday is the last full day of summer 2024. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy and less humid, the high of 69. That north-northeast wind still 10 to 20 miles an hour. Sunday, fall begins in the morning. It'll be a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high 71. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. President Biden has issued a disaster declaration for parts of Connecticut. That means those who suffered losses in New Haven, Fairfield, and Litchfield counties in the historic flooding from last month will now be eligible for federal financial assistance. Schedules for school students continue to be upended by threats. Bristol, Bridgeport, and Torrington schools, targets of perceived social media threats today. They called off classes in both Bristol and in the Park City. And in Meriden, police say 2 juveniles were taken into custody who were allegedly behind threats made towards city schools there. 70-year-old woman faces charges. She set a fire at an apartment building in Bloomfield earlier this morning. Firefighters were met with heavy fire when they arrived at the building on Dorothy Drive. Maria Salas was in court on the arson charge today. An 89-year-old woman was treated for smoke inhalation. State police say a Litchfield man's under arrest on child abuse charges. Troopers say Matthew Risbason was caught on surveillance slapping the 5-year-old, swinging the infant, and pushing the child's feet toward their head. Complainant told police she suspected the child was being abused and upon leaving work took custody of the baby until police arrived. Suspect faces charges of intentional cruelty to persons, reckless endangerment, and risk of injury. State Inspector General taking over that investigation into the police shooting of a 36-year-old New Haven man along the New Haven-West Haven line yesterday. Another report from the Office of the Inspector General says a man who died as police were trying to take him into custody last year did not die as a result of anything police did. They say Robert Scott Brown had self-inflicted stab wounds and ultimately bled to death. Wall Street, Dow was up 89 points today. The NASDAQ gave back 65 and the S&P down 11 points. Baseball tonight as the baseball season quickly comes to a close. The Red Sox open a series against the Twins tonight at Fenway, trying to keep their flickering playoff hopes alive. 6:10 is the pregame here. Yanks with another late one on the coast against the A's, and the Mets making a push toward a wild card host the Phillies. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Aer Lingus and Bradley International Airport, your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Fly non-stop from Hartford to Dublin with great fares available now. And since Dublin is our European hub, make your trip 20 times more fun with connections to over 20 cities across Europe, including London, Paris, and Rome. From epic coastlines to city tram lines, you can explore it all. Visit aerlingus.com to book your flights today.
And paid for by RFA cancellation. Are you feeling trapped? You no longer want? You're not alone. Thousands of people are stuck paying for timeshares they hardly use. But here's the good news. There's a way out, and we're here to help. We specialize in legally canceling timeshares. With years of experience and a dedicated team, we've successfully helped countless clients just like you break free from those burdensome contracts. No more annual fees, no more maintenance costs, just freedom from your unwanted timeshare. Imagine what you could do with all that extra money and peace of mind, whether it's traveling to places you really want to go, saving for a new home, or just enjoying life without that financial burden hanging over your head. We make it possible, and it's easier than you think. Call us today at 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Our friendly experts will guide you through the process step by step, ensuring a smooth and stress-free experience. So call us now at 800-866... That's 800-866-7061 and take the first step toward freedom. Again, 800-866-7061. 800-866-7061.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We are back. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC. I am still, folks, and I'm trying to reach out to everybody because I'm trying to get a follow-up to this ABC News story, with the whole debate on September 10th. I'm trying to get some insight on this because from what I do understand, there is a letter. Indeed, I'll put it to you this way. It is so serious now that members of Congress are calling ABC to come to Washington to answer for what happened in the debate. I don't know as far as the whistleblower goes. I haven't heard anything yet. I'm still trying to get on whether or not the whistleblower's lawyer is going to be involved with or speaking to the Gateway pundit yet, and we're still trying to confirm. However, I will say this. ABC News has responded by saying that they did not give any any questions to the Kamala Harris campaign. Now, let me tell you why that's problematic. Is because the affidavit does not say that. The affidavit does not accuse ABC News of giving her the questions. They did give her, according to the affidavit, the subjects. That they did. They did not deny in their statement whether or not they had a conversation with the Harris campaign about her brother-in-law, about her tenure as district attorney or the attorney general, or about Biden's age. They have not denied any of that in their statement to anyone. And that creates an air of suspicion because all you have to do is say, oh, and by the way, excuse me, they have not suggested that anyone on their staff isn't the whistleblower. In other words, they're saying, no, that's not true. There was no conversation. Nobody confirmed from ABC News that there was a conversation or there wasn't a conversation with the Harris campaign about the things that were off topic. No one's confirmed that either. Bob Iger, the head of Disney and ABC News, has not responded. They have only responded through their spokesperson. And again, they haven't said anything. So it's a lot of stuff. And I don't think anybody has contacted Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, because the whistleblower says that they took a copy and they certified mailed it to the Speaker of the House in Washington. So I haven't heard anything yet. Like I said, I'm looking around. Hopefully we'll hear something in the next week. Let's get back into the traffic with BPS traffic coordinator and extraordinaire, Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of 91, you got delays approaching 34 down to 32 A and B. Another slowdown by exit 28. More delays as you move 23 down to exit 21 in Cromwell. Northbound side of 91, slowing between 20 and 22 as you move Middletown into Cromwell. After that, easy ride Hartford up into Windsor. If you're traveling westbound 84, it looks good. Vernon out into West Hartford. We are seeing just a little bit of a delay now as you move between exit 35 and 33 in Plainville. If you are traveling on the westbound side of Route 2, no problems coming into Hartford. 291 through 84, okay, east of the river. Middletown looks good, 9 in the Aragodi Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound again a little slow between 26 and 27 in Cheshire. Westbound 84 is tied up Waterbury 23 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Danbury delays 8 out to exit 11 in Newtown. If you are traveling on the southbound side of the Parkway, delays 61 down to 60. 95 southbound New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the evening and overnight, it'll be partly cloudy and mild, but comfy with the low down to 61. Then heading in through the day on Saturday, the last full day of summer 2024. Well, we're going to have a pretty decent day to start with, and we head through the afternoon with that mix of sun and clouds. It's going to be cool, the high of 68, that northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Make it feel a little bit cooler. But Sunday, fall begins in the morning. We'll have a nice day with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 71. Again, clouds and sun to kick off the week on Monday, the high 69. Lots of clouds around Tuesday and Wednesday. The high 66 Tuesday. Wednesday with that thick cloud cover, we'll have a couple of showers, mainly later in the day, the high of 69. Right now, Bristol at 70, Waterbury 68, New Haven 73. It's 70 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Become a member at AmericanEagle.org.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, Eric Hogarth, Money Wisdom. This week we're going to talk about very, very important things in retirement and life planning. Wills, estates, do I need it? What can I do? Tune in this Saturday at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, this is Carson Daly, inviting you to be part of Odyssey's mental health initiative, I'm Listening. As a dedicated mental health advocate, it is my great honor to again be hosting this awesome 2-hour special, along with Dr. Alfie and Katie Neal, as we engage in this very meaningful conversation. Connect with us right here for I'm Listening.
September 26th at 7 p.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 is sponsored by Amplify.
What do you love about driving?
Tonight, CW is the exclusive new home.
I love the competition, the intensity
of the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
I love taking a 3,400-pound piece of metal and making it do things it doesn't want to do.
What's not to love?
I just love this game.
Drivers to your cars. Get ready for 8 weeks of heart-pounding NASCAR action.
Here we go. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Including every playoff race.
It's about to get crazy.
Oh! Contact made into the wall hard.
The CW.
They're side by side for the lead. Who's
Oh,
gonna
boy.
Get there first?
Has the speed you need. Be there as legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues his pursuit for glory. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Season premiere tonight, live from Bristol Speedway, only on the CW.
The season premiere of the NASCAR Xfinity Series, tonight at 7 on WCCT TV 20, Connecticut's home of the CW.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax. Federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, baby. It's almost over. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to go so fast, ladies and gentlemen. It's all Roland's fault. It's Roland's fault. He made this thing just so smooth like butter. He made it so smooth and silky. It just flowed right through. You think he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil in the studio. No. Anyway, by the way, I apologize that the feed got cut off for some odd reason on Facebook, and now it's back up. I was looking at it. I was just like, why am I looking at myself in the past tense? And it didn't go live, and it popped back up. It seems like everybody else is back up. Mark Robinson is the North Carolina gubernatorial candidate, and people are talking about him. In what makes me laugh about his story is people on CNN are going, will Mark Robinson's scandal affect Donald Trump? Really? Really? Mark Robinson was on a porn site, if that is indeed true. But if he was on, what was it, transsexual or some porn site, but he was on the chat room. And he referred to himself as a black Nazi, apparently, according to this. And they say his email address is associated with some Ashley, what's it called? Ashley, what's the, I don't know, Ashley, I don't know what the name of it, Ashley Robinson, Ashley some, whatever. It's some cheating website. Ashley Madison, sorry, I had to look at it. Ashley Madison is some cheating website or whatever it is where there are no women. It's weird. It's all bots. But he was a part of that, and people are asking whether or not it's going to affect Donald Trump's campaign. And I can only answer it by saying, you must be stupid. Girl, you must be stupid. Turns out Mark Robinson's one of you. If anything, you should be voting for him. He likes transsexual porn sites and talking about Nazis. Sounds like a cut of your jib. Ain't nobody care about Mark Robinson. If he loses, he loses. That's what Oppo research is supposed to do, but he doesn't affect the grand scheme of things. We're going for the big fish on this one. We're going for the big fish. Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, your whole world crumbles. That's all. So you're looking for these little pipsqueaks. You want these little crumbs. You want to turn them into big loaves of bread. You go right ahead. We'll have fun over here. Mark Robinson. Nobody paying attention to that race. Anyway, who's scared? Anyway, let's go to Joe in New Hampshire. How you doing, Joe? What's going on?
Hey, Reverend. I got a big tip for you for a future guest before I'm done.
Okay.
You got a high probability if you have Morgan Cunningham start working on it. He gets everybody. He even got George Norrie on his show last summer on a Sunday. But the thing about the ABC and the debate, here's the whole story. I have the whole story. You know, my sources up here, they're plugged in. They did not give, ABC did not give Kamala Harris or, her
questions.
Any questions at all. They wanted to make sure they could have plausible deniability and actually be telling the truth. It was in reverse. The handlers of Kamala Harris gave ABC the questions, and not only the questions that were going to be asked, but the order in which they were going to be asked.
Ooh.
The ground rules were they were not to fact-check Kamala Harris at all. No matter what she said, they would not fact-check her at all, which is what happened. Mm-hmm. And they were to fact-check Donald Trump on every question. Those were the rules submitted to ABC by the handlers. Now, the whistleblower, I hope they have him in protective custody because I don't think the handlers and the powers that be want this to get out officially to the public, in front of Congress. Now, remember that Democratic operative that got the WikiLeaks out about Hillary Clinton, and he was murdered on the streets of Washington early Saturday morning.
And why am I forgetting his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but his $1,000 watch was still on his wrist.
I know.
His wallet had
and it still had his wallet
and cash in it.
Mm-hmm. That was the reason why many people were believing it was suspicious. And I think his name was Mark. Why is that his name Mark? Somebody will tell me in the chat room. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
But no one has heard from this whistleblower at all, and I'm concerned that he may never show up because his fate would be similar to that other gentleman that blew the whistle, and they made him pay for it.
Well, again, ABC News, because I hear, and there's some rumbling about this. I saw this on Mediaite, that they were up in arms, that Donald Trump even suggested that ABC lose its license if indeed the whistleblowers' events, as he is suggesting, they happen if they are true. And look, I got to be honest with you, ABC would be in serious trouble. If that's into election interference to the umpth degree. That is everything about that, if indeed it happened. No, I'm just saying, if indeed it happened, there can be no other consequence other than jailing individuals who are responsible. There's no slap on the wrist with this.
Oh, I don't know who's going to enforce that. Merrick Garland?
Oh, no. That's the reason. Look, don't get me wrong. There's the statute of limitations. If Donald Trump were to win, without a doubt, we could still get somebody in the DOJ who would file those charges. Merrick Garland's days are numbered. Trust me. Even if Kamala were to win, he's not sticking around.
If you got a call from Kamala's handlers tomorrow and said she will come on your show next week and give you 15 minutes, but these are the questions you're going to ask and in the order that they ask, and you don't second guess anything, would you accept her on the show just to get her voice on the show?
I would tell them to kick rocks. I don't want anything to do with them. I want no interest in talking to her campaign. Not if I have to listen to her meander on about being a middle class kid. I don't think, and I don't want to be condescended to with her talking to me like Russia's a big country and the Ukraine is a little country. Remember when she did that to the black radio host? Never would I allow.
Yeah.
No.
And she continues to do it. Now I want to give you that tip. This is a chance for you to get a big fish on your show, and it's getting back into the realm of sports.
Whom you got?
Women's basketball. Now Caitlin, the rookie.
Caitlin Clark.
She just broke the last game of the season. She broke the rookie scoring record for the season. Mm-hmm. She just had, I guess, the last game. 20,000 plus. They packed the stadium.
Wow.
I mean, she's the Taylor Swift of women's basketball now. So she would be great to have on your show, and it would be easily possible because the way it's set up, if Indiana, the team she's on, wins the first round, and the Connecticut Sun win their first round,
they're coming here.
Who meets in the second round? They'll be coming here for at least one or two games, and it'd be so easy for you to get her on your show as a guest in a week or so.
Thank you. Much appreciated. You know what?
I'm always looking out for you.
I know you are, sir. Much appreciated. Let's go to Steve in Waterbury. How you doing, Steve?
Warning, Will Robertson. Beware of your uncle. Here's the thing. I mean, obviously they got to, consider him innocent to proven guilty, but it sounds to me like he's a rhino more than anything else.
Mark Robinson?
Yes.
If they've got him dead to rights, it's going to change the election, but you reap what you sow. It's like if indeed, this is going to affect them in some way, or if North Carolina says, look, I'll forgive him for whatever he did in the past. I'll judge him on who he is now. We'll see. If it has any effect, I think they've moved on.
But here's the thing too, though, with ABC and this whole thing with the campaign.
Yeah.
I believe that it's just like people speed all the time and they don't get caught, but when they do, it's rare.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, I really believe this stuff's been going on for a long time, and finally somebody's blew the whistle on it.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Look, I'm not going to lie. Never in my life have I ever woken up in the middle of the night looking for news on this story. I search it every day because you have no idea how much I want this. I want this more than anything. I really do. I want this. I need this whistleblower or his lawyer to come forward. I want to follow up to it. I am desperate for this story like I am for Fannie Willis, who, by the way, I've got news on her on Sunday. I'm going to talk about that on the Sunday program. But
look forward to it.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Have a great weekend.
You too, sir. Patty is back. How are we doing? And last call of the night. How are we doing, Patty?
Hi, Reese. I only heard your show for the last hour or so, and I heard Joe, and I just want to respond to like the last hour of the violence and that kind of thing. And I'll talk a little bit fast because I know it's the end of the hour. And thank you for taking my call as always. You are a great guy, Reese.
Thank you.
I want to just say there's no justification or any of us have to hurt another person who has not displayed or threatened us of any harm or aggression towards them, man or woman. The culture from the left today is intentional in how they destroy society. They want the violence, Reese, on women. It is to condition and desensitize society and normalize violence against women. We have to.
Patty, why do you think that is, though? I don't listen. What you just said, I find that so odd because remember, we did have a party. 30 years ago where it was defense of women, and so yeah, it was. I don't even recognize them anymore.
We don't, because they're fundamentally transforming the country as they promised. Look how Iran treats women. No respect. China. They killed off so many women in China that they threaten their own survival now because there's not enough men to have children and not enough women anymore to have children.
Yeah.
They want a Wild West. If honestly, what they're looking to do is to change the population, all the people coming in, change the makeup of society, and they do not want Americans. They cannot control us. We're independent thinkers, and we are going to resist this kind of totalitarianism. They want people in from countries that are poor, that have been, they have very little rights, because they accept it, because they came from that.
Yeah.
Whereas American men and women, we're a lot of thinkers, and we've actually been conditioned as children. In order to succeed in life, you have to pay attention to your school. Why do you think they're enjoying our children? They're making our children that had so much potential, they're downgrading education because they're empowering countries like China to overrule us. We've had 150,000 Chinese nationals. They are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the country. And part of that is women. They do not want American women that are a little bit more, self-thinkers, independent. They want the dominance over us. Look what Iran does to their women.
It's so interesting you say that because you know what? You just literally like a light bulb just went off in my head. I always thought about the whole replacement theory that they tell you is racist and bigoted. But what you just said, those are facts. But the part that you said about bringing in a group of people who are from third world countries, it's not just so much about bringing the third world to the United States. If you can populate a society with people who are used to government tyranny, you have a populace who won't push back on it. Like they'll be here and they'll see it in our government and they'll act accordingly. They'll see it as familiar. When they see our government behave that way towards its citizens, they won't resist because they expect their government to behave in that way. And I never looked at it from that level. It's like they have a compliant a voter base or a compliant society by bringing those people in who are used to government tyranny.
Conditioning. They've already been conditioned.
Yeah.
To do as they're told.
God, that's
the
such a good point.
People do not want to because we have been raised to be free thinkers and we've been praised to use our brain, respect our brain, and do the best we can. They don't want that.
Yeah.
They want the support.
Yeah,
That's how you control people.
You're 100% right, Patty. Thank you for closing with that. Gosh, it brings me back to that time when Barack Obama was in that speech talking, I think it was the UN, or maybe, it was in the UN, and he talked about, he wished he could stop people from doing whatever, but it's that Constitution that we have. Oh, that bothered him so much. All right. I got to end it, but I can't wait to get back here on Monday. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Don't forget to always go to reseontheradio.com and check us out. There's a video on there that you got to watch. It was a robot takes down a suspect. It's amazing. Skynet is here, damn it. Skynet is here. Sarah Connor, run. And he is in the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, have you seen that robot take down the suspect?
Danger.
Yeah, I saw him on Lost in Space many years ago.
Oh, this robot, they make the robot literally roll on the guy and keep him there,
Really?
pin him down till the cops come up.
Fantastic.
It's insane. You got to watch it on our website.
Fantastic.
Danger.
That poor robot on Lost in Space was always outgunned. He got hit by massive voltage, and they somehow Dr. Smith and the angry guy there were able to put him back together all the time. It was pretty amazing. Reese, have a great weekend. If you're traveling into Hartford right now,
Enjoy your weekend, good sir.
I won't.
New Balance.
As I will mine. Yes, sir.
You can enjoy it all you want. Just know I'll be miserable.
Down to 21.
All right, catch you on Monday, man.
All right, buddy, bye.
Some slow traffic northbound between 20 and 21 in Cromwell. After that, good ride up into Hartford. 84 eastbound, slowing about a half mile before 46 is an hour.
All right, folks, check out the Sunday show. Thank you, Michael A. You guys have been fantastic as always. Thank you for chiming in. God,